Welcome to fabulous Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. The biggest stars of all time performed here. Elvis, Sinatra, Celine, even Donnie and Marie. Really, Donnie and Marie, who wrote the stinking script.
You're a moron!
Now broadcasting from Las Vegas on the all-new Bwamerica.com. It's Bonsanto Wilson. This show is more of a sure thing than my date getting laid tonight. Sorry, Mom, I'd never. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I'm a 30-year-old virgin.
We're all gonna get laid!
Nick Bonsanto and Mark the Man Wilson are the best duo since Martin and Lewis.
Bells will ring.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling.
You sing Vita Bella. Vita Bella.
Come on, guys. Does anybody alive know Martin and Lewis? I better be getting paid for reading this garbage.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Bwamerica.com is proud to present a Vegas-style sports and entertainment show that's bigger and bolder than anything you've ever heard. It's time for Bonsanto Wilson.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger!
Oh, and welcome to the palatial BW America Studios in fabulous Las Vegas. It's another edition of Bonsanto Wilson. I'm Nick Bonsanto.
Hello, America. I'll be Mark the Man Wilson. I want to tell you, this place is really nice, too.
It is nice here.
Really, no, I've been in studios that were a pain in the ass or gross, like really gross, and I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
To some people who might be listening, know exactly what studio I'm talking about.
Oh, you know the studio. Your
Nick,
people.
Have you been in studios where there's dust and there's crap everywhere? We used to have like these holes in the bottom of the thing. I don't know what was underneath them, but mice would come up through the holes. We knew there would be mice in the studio.
I'd be doing remotes every day. I would not be around there.
Well,
I don't like
it wasn't
mice.
great. I'm not saying what it is, so no one can, you can't say, okay, which one is it? Because I've been in plenty of studios, but those are bad. This one, great. Clean, spick and span. I expect Mr. Clean to walk in with his rough and tumble.
But that would be like me. See, I would be the Mr. Clean. Do you know one thing I would do when I was and you know what? I had a fabulous producer when I first started in Chattanooga when I was the PD there, Jesse Williams. He currently now lives in Florida.
Shout out, Jesse.
Yep, love Jesse. He's
shout out to Jesse.
I love Jesse. But Jesse, graduate of Florida, worked for me. Now he's in Nashville. He lives in Nashville with his beautiful bride and his kids. Good kid. But he will tell you, I had a rule. The studio, nothing was ever out of place. And he would drive me nuts because he'd come in and do a little production before the show. And he'd bring in a stinking hoagie or a sub with the oil and the pepper, and the whole freaking room would stink. And I banned him from bringing food into this because he always brought the stinkiest freaking food in America. Always.
I have never been one to eat in a studio. This is about as far as I get a bottle of water.
Yeah, and today...
This is it.
And today I actually have...
Well, you have to have a drink.
Well, I have a drink, and the reason I have this is I went and got a bite to eat before we recorded. And let me make one note as we go here. This recording is being done prior to many of the results of the NCAA tournament. So if you don't
go green.
Stuff, okay, please know that.
And I'd like to say this to my good friends with the Wolverines.
Yes.
Muck Fishigan.
So
what? What did I say?
I know what you said.
I just said Muck Fishigan.
I got you.
That's it. No problem.
Okay.
I have this down here because, and I want to mention this now because the blog will be up.
Okay.
It's the 40th anniversary of the Magic Bird game.
40th anniversary already.
It's coming this Tuesday, the 26th of March, will be 40 years to the day, which is still to this day the most watched. Now, here's what I think is true. The most watched, not only national championship game at 24.1, it's the most watched basketball game still by ratings numbers in the history of basketball.
Well, and
Pro
nothing will ever come close again because of the dilution
we'll never have that,
of TV
Correct.
being 4,000 stations. I mean, years ago when you'd get 20s, now you're lucky if you get a 10.
Like we said, the proliferation of television will make sure you'll never get a 24.1.
How about Mark's proliferations?
But I have a blog on there, and the interesting part, I followed that whole year. I was already working in the business. I was a sophomore at Michigan State. Actually, I told people I was 7 years old when I did that at the time. That doesn't fly, it seems. because how would I have driven to Northwestern? But it's about the Northwestern loss. They had a big, huge loss that drove them to 4-4 in the Big Ten. At that point, nobody was talking about Magic Johnson and Gregory Kelser and Terry Donnelly and company winning a national title when they were 4-4 in the league. But I don't have to explain it here. It's a long story. Read about it. It's really, I think it's interesting because I was there for this, and I was the only person that I can remember who heard the screaming after the Northwestern game, and it was intense. Mm-hmm. But I think that was the impetus to turn it around, so MSU won the title.
And blogs, you can get at bwamerica.com. They'll also be posted on the Facebook page and such. Just go there, the blog page, you'll see it all there. Now, one thing, though, can I add something to this?
Yeah.
So for the audience that doesn't know Mark the Man Wilson.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're a Michigan State grad.
I'm a big alum of Michigan State.
You're a big
State.
alum,
yes.
right?
I would consider myself a major alum of the school.
Okay. So, but also, as your radius, you also, I'm not going to say look, you knew Magic. You knew Magic pretty well.
We're 2 weeks apart in age.
Right.
We had classes together as freshmen. He only spent 2 years there.
Right, exactly.
But I've known him all, since that and forever, yeah.
No, but I just thrown that out there and I'm not trying to name drop or anything, but I just want people to know that you really had when you go read the blog, because you were working, but at the same time you also
I was his peer.
You were a peer, and you were invested emotionally in
I
this
still
as
claim
well.
that I was there when he met Cookie, when he met his wife, Erletha Kelly, named Cookie. I call her Cookie Magic Johnson.
Okay.
I love that she's Cookie Magic Johnson. And they're still together to this day, even through all the horrible HIV stuff of the early 90s, and Cookie stayed with him this whole time.
Well, I've told this story, and I think I told you this. I remember when the HIV story broke.
November of 91.
I broke that in New Jersey.
In Jersey you did.
I did. I was the first one to have it. I was driving, and I had a call from someone, and I wasn't on the air and didn't have the ability. I actually gave it to a friend at another station. I got on the phone. I said, I'm going to give you something because it should be out there, and I'm not going to get to the station in time, and I didn't have anybody at the station to do it at the time, and I gave it to David at the time about that.
That's pretty big because there were only select people, and we got it. I don't even want to tell my story because it's terrible.
No, I know.
Because I knew all of his.
It's a little personal.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's because of the situation. I was in television at the time. The guy. I don't know how to term Joel Ferguson, but he's been his mentor since he was a child. And so there were like three main people here, okay? It was Joel Ferguson, it was Dr. Charles Tucker, and Darwin Payton, who was his right-hand guy in Los Angeles. So a lot of people got the story who weren't Michigan State related because of Darwin and one other doctor in L.A. Remember, there's an L.A. part of this and an East Lansing part of this.
Right.
Because supposedly all this stuff took place in East Lansing.
Wink, wink.
Okay? I've always told the story. Earvin Johnson is Magic in L.A., but he's Earvin in Lansing.
In Lansing.
Lansing, he's Earvin. Los Angeles, and around the world, he's Magic. Okay, when he comes back home, his daddy and kids, they ain't putting up with no Magic. Okay? Because Earvin Johnson, he's Earvin Johnson Jr. And his daddy is very proud of Earvin Johnson Sr.
Does he go, Junior? I don't like what happened there.
Junior was his nickname. Nickname was Junior, like all juniors are, right?
How did I know that?
Like all juniors are.
Okay.
You know who gave him the Magic nickname?
No, tell me.
Fred Stabley Jr.
Fred Stabley
Jr. His daddy was the longtime Michigan State sports information director. Fred got into the business too, became a sports writer.
Okay.
And during high school, for Lansing Everett High School, when Magic was making the run to the state title, he wrote a column about how this kid at Lansing Everett was pure magic.
Wow.
And the Magic name stuck. But
magic moment.
You can sing all day. But there is a guy credited with giving Earvin his nickname. It was like from his grandma when he was 2. It was a sports writer.
LA.
And there's your background vocals.
And they created.
And Fred went on to become the sports information director at Central Michigan University, but he's always been given credit.
Interesting.
For giving Magic.
See, and those are the kind of little tidbits you'll get here on Bonsanto Wilson that you would not expect.
Well, and that's why I'm saying if you want to know about the run to the national title in 1979, 40 years ago, read the blog because this is the Northwestern game, and I'm telling you, unless I'm missing my mark, I don't think anybody else was there because it was an innocuous game in January. It was terrible roads. drove in from East Lansing to Chicago. I was from there, so I went home anyhow, and I went to the game at this old crappy McGaw Hall, and they lost by 18 to the worst team in the country. And when I tell you Northwestern back then was the worst in the country, we didn't have 390 schools in D1 back then.
No, it was probably about 150.
Right.
Yeah.
And Northwestern, which was tragically always at the bottom, this was really their low point. They only won 6 games all season. One of them was against Michigan State, the national champions.
Yeah, well, see that? There you go. So we're on your list.
Yes, that
Mark's
was on the list.
Maybe we should just call it Mark's List.
So put that on a T-shirt. I have the NBA on here for a reason. Can I ask you a question? In fact, I wanted to ask you this.
You want to ask me an
Yes.
NBA
and
question?
We have not talked about this.
No, we haven't talked about the NBA really at all.
Okay. I'm going to give you 3 numbers.
3 numbers?
Yep. 6 points. Write it down.
Go ahead.
5 rebounds, 1 assist. Any idea what that signifies?
Somebody's stat line.
Somebody's stat line for their
Right.
career.
For their career?
For the career.
For their career.
For their career.
Sam Bowie.
No. I'll give you another hint. That stat line was just retired by an NBA team.
Whoa. That's
Read that again.
6 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist.
By the way, I'm being generous because it's like 5.7 points. So I'm rounding it up to 6.
This is an average, not total.
This is their average.
Oh, I thought it was like that's their total
No,
stats for
not-
a career,
no.
and he just retired.
That's their average
I'm going,
points.
Who the hell was injured for it?
That's their average points, rebounds, and assists per
That's
game.
why I went Sam Bowie. I
Per
thought
game.
like it was like one game he played, and that was it.
per game, not total.
See, that just okay. See, you have to define.
Does it really make it that much better?
Yeah.
It does?
Well,
6
no,
points,
I still
5
don't
rebounds?
know it. I still don't know.
No, wait
it.
a second. To retire a number with those numbers?
Oh, hold on.
His number's retired. They retired it last week.
What?
NBA team.
I don't remember this.
He has your first name. Nick Collison
Hold on.
of the
Back up the bus.
of the Oklahoma City Thunder and also Seattle Supersonics had his number 4 retired.
Nick Collison had his number. How did I miss that? Probably because it really didn't matter.
For 6 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. They never won a
That's
championship.
his career average.
That's his career average.
See, at first I thought you'd have
17
his
years,
career
I
line.
believe, in the NBA between the Sonics. He played for the one franchise. He made the move from Seattle to OKC. And I know they loved him as a guy. I get that. He
How do you retire
his
that
number
number?
is retired at Kansas, too, at number 4.
Yeah, but that's a little different. He was a different player. At Kansas, he actually was a
I
player.
think he averaged 20-something points
Yeah,
at
that's
Kansas.
different. 17 years in the NBA with a stat line of 6, 5, and 1, and he got retired?
The first number retired.
Maybe it's because they don't want anybody else to be that bad again, so they don't want him to wear that number.
I mean, they had a ceremony. He was there with the
they
family.
should have burned the jersey, not retired it.
It's not like OKC's got like 5 championship rings.
I don't care.
And he's like a big part of it. They have none. They didn't put up any banners for anything, although they did go to the finals.
Oh my God!
So I just wanted to ask: am I missing something with Nick Collison? Is there another hook to him?
No,
I don't want to think there's something terrible that I'm missing.
Can I ask this? Let's not waste time on Nick Collison because I don't want to fall into the same category as the OKC team. Get it, move on with your stinking. Oh, Nick Collison, give me a freaking break.